Lab4 3D Paint Tool. Before we start, please remember to set up your project folder by using the Set Project and Project Window command. Also, please remember to save this file into the project folder. Let's do it together. Using the Save Scene command, remember this file should be saved in the project folder inside the Scenes folder. Okay, the path is correct, so I give this a name, Lab4, and then press save. Okay, this is student versions. Continue. Okay, the file is saved, and then we can start. This lab, we are going to try the 3D paint tools. If you have experience in using spray to paint a figure, then these tools, you will find that is similar. All right. Before we use the 3D paint tool, we have to make sure the model is UV mapped. We can use the automatic mapping to help us to do this step. In the previous versions, the command automatic mapping is under Create UVs menu. Now, after version 2019, the command is under the menu UV. The fourth command, automatic, you can see the name of the command is simplified. Use the select tools to select the model, and then we can use this command to apply the automatic mapping to the model. You can see after applying the command, there are totally 6 squares around the model. It's like dividing the surface of the model into 6 parts in these 6 directions. We will talk about texture mapping later in the lecture. After using automatic mapping, your model is ready to use 3D print tools. We have to change the menu set to rendering, and you will find texturing menu. And under it, you will find the 3D print tool. If we want to open the tool settings of 3D print tools, in the previous version, we have to go to Display, UI Elements, and then select Tool Settings. Now, the new versions, after 2019, we have a several ways to open the tool settings. Okay, first, we change to Rendering menu set, and then under Texturing, we can find the 3D print tools. The first way, we can click the option box to open the tool setting of the 3D print tools, like this. Also, we can select the tools first, and here, this is the last tools icon. We can double click here. Also, we can open the tool settings by double click this icon. And other way to open this tool setting is go to Windows, General Editors, and then the fourth one, tool settings. These few ways also can help us to open the tool settings of the tools. After selecting the tools, if you point your cursor to the model, you will see this red cross. That means you are not able to paint on the model yet. We have to do one more step to make your model be able to paint. Go to Tool Settings, roll down a bit. You should be able to see this Assign Edit Textures button. Make sure you are selecting Color, and then you can click this button. Here, we have size X, size Y to adjust the size of the texture. If the keep aspect ratio is taken, then if you change the size X, okay, the size Y will follow the change. Below, we can select the image format. You are suggested to use PNG, you are not recommended to use JPEG because JPEG will blur the image when you save the file. So we choose PNG and then click the Assign Edit Textures button. So your model is ready to paint now. Okay, so this few lines is just the steps I finished. Alright, okay, you are ready to paint now. There are a few attributes we can adjust. The first one, radius U, is adjusting the brush radius. We can also use shortcut key B and then drag the mouse to control the radius of the brush. The next one is artisans. We can change the type of brush tips here, and also we can change different paint effects. Certainly, we can change the color in the panel, and also ask the software to fill the whole model with certain solid color first, and then we paint on it. Okay, let's try to modify a bit of the setting and then start painting. First, we can try to adjust the brush radius by tuning these radius U attributes. We can slide the slider to adjust it, or we can use the shortcut key B, press and holding it. You can see the cursor is changed to these two directions arrows, and then press the left mouse button and drag the mouse to control the radius of the brush. Alright, we can change the brush type here. We can select circle, or we can choose square. Here we have a folder icon. We can click on this icon to open the brush strips folder. In this folder, there are a lot of different images. We can choose them to be the brush type. And indeed, we can also create this brush types image by ourselves and put in this folder to be a new brush type. Okay, let's choose one of it and then click open. And you can try the brush by pressing mouse button and drag on the models. Alright. We can also choose different brush effects here. We can click the Get Brush button to choose different brush effects. I leave it to you and you can try it by yourself. We can adjust the color here and also the opacity. If we want to paint the model with certain color first, okay, we can use this button. Okay, let's paint the model with white color first. Okay, click this button and you will see the model is now filled with white color. And then we can start painting. Okay, let's choose another color. Draw a bit on it. Oh, sorry. Choose the color here. Adjust the color. And then try to paint it a bit. Okay, change another color. Alright. Maybe draw a little bit more. Alright. Here we have some paint operation. Okay, we can try the erase one. Okay, if I choose erase and then I paint here. You can see I erased the color, including the right color. It shows back the material color here. So beware of using the erase because it will erase the color you paint on it. Also, okay, for example, this model is symmetric. When we paint on one side, if we also want this color appear on the other side, we can use the reflection attributes here. We can take this attribute under the stroke sections and then, okay, now the reflection axis is X, so you can see I have two brush circle on both sides. Then when I brush on one side, okay, I'm using erase. So you can see I'm erasing the color on both sides together. So then I can use back the paint, and then, okay, I use some red color, paint back a bit here. Okay. Anyway, all right. Okay. Once we finish the painting, we should save the textures. Under Assign Edit Textures, we should be able to find the Save Textures button here. Okay, click the Save Texture buttons. Then the texture is saved to the folder in your project folder. Under Source Images folder, it creates a new folder called 3D Print Textures. And under it, it uses the file name you saved it. For example, this one is Lab4. Okay, it create a folder called Lab4. Then put this texture into this Lab4 folder. All right, let's go to this folder. Okay, 3D print textures folder, Lab4, and we should be able to see this texture image. We can open it. You can see the model is divided into 6 pieces, and you can see the printing are divided into these 6 pieces. So then we can use any photo editing software to fine-tune the texture image, and then just save it at the same locations. Maya will update the texture display here. So remember to save your texture after you finish your printing. And indeed, there is one more command here, save texture on stroke. You can activate this save texture on stroke, then Maya will help you to save your texture file every time you brush on the model. But you can imagine that it will increase the consumption of the resources of your computer. So I don't recommend you activate this save texture on stroke. Just remember to save the texture by yourself once you finish the printing. Okay, here is the path that we can find back the texture file, and then we can use any photo editing software to fine-tune or add effects to the texture. That is the end of Lab 4.